starting as a family and going to different churches every week with kids, it's tough. And so we kind of let him lead that charge, and he met with Jeff and went to lunch and felt as though this was the community for us. Our girls started loving it, and we probably took about 6 months to then plug in and really listening and looking for where the Lord would have us serve. And then with going to Columbia, we weren't sure how that would go. We were a little uncertain and anxious, I would say, about that. And one of the pastors had shared with us about going to the Nashville campus and the impact it had made on his family. And that really encouraged me, because our girls were very involved at Franklin and loved that community, and it was going to be starting over.
T and Rebecca are some of our closest friends. They said, hey, we're starting, we're going to be heading up to the Columbia campus. We'd love for y'all to consider coming. The Franklin campus, once again, you're kind of comfortable with what you're doing. You're like, things are good, we're serving and all that stuff. And it's like, all right, time out. Let's think about this. Let's pray about this. And so, ultimately we just felt like the Lord was calling us to be like, hey, maybe it's time for y'all to get a little uncomfortable. You remember when y'all moved here? That was pretty uncomfortable, and said, why don't y'all look at going to the Columbia campus? Ended up just landing the role of connections coordinator, and so it's been 2 years. But really, it was, I think, for us, just as a family, once again, just pulling up the bootstraps and just being like, hey, here's another opportunity. We've never been a part of a church plant. We've never, done tear down and set up every week. Let's do this. This is Columbia's a campus or a community that we haven't reached out before. And, once again, the families and stuff that we've developed relationships with the Columbia campus, it's been unreal. It's been awesome. We've really enjoyed it. Obviously you hear about numbers and all that stuff. For me, it's more like, God will take care of all that stuff, because he changes people's hearts, right? And so what the last 20 years have been is that the Lord continues to change people's hearts, and that they keep drawing close to the Lord. It's a deep personal relationship that they have. And then once again, that more and more people would take that boldness, they take that next step, right? And keeping this focus on Jesus, and that's our mission, it's just to serve others and to follow Christ.
Those who might be a little nervous, anxious, worried about stepping out, but when they hear that calling and that need, not to allow that to keep you from doing what God's called you, because there is that blessing, and we shouldn't wait for someone else to step up and lead or serve when there's a need. Even though you may feel ill-equipped, that's just an opportunity for God to then use you and help you out. And I think we all have an area that we can serve and help in, and skills that God's made us each unique. And so it's important to follow those prompts when you feel them, to do it even though it's uncomfortable.